Has a level of difficulty. Who could guess? Raise your hand. Who could guess what level of difficulty this question was? It's either hard, medium, or easy. Medium. Joshua's raising his hand. Joshua.
It was very hard.
This was a hard level question, one of the hardest on the test. So let's see how we did. Let's start by talking about the chart. What parts of the text does this question connect to? Anthony.
I put lines 1 through 6 and lines 6 through 9 because lines 1 through 6 asking a question and it talks about like how does Barbara Stephens, like how she became a magazine illustrator. And in lines 6 through 9 it like explains like what she sold and stuff, including some of the stuff, like including other people. I think.
Anyone have additions or something different? Raphael?
Line 14 and 15. She said she also founded an organization that fought prejudice against women artists.
Given that I know the answer, I know that those lines will help. Great. I love how Anthony is adding that in to the chart. Also, if you're an AP question person, if you're a 12th grader, filling out the chart as you listen to others will help you because this becomes a reference sheet. As you go back to it, you can put it in your binder. Because if this is a super hard SAT question, it is at the level of AP and then can be a reference as you go back to these kinds of questions in the future. And it's easy to take notes based on what your peers say. It's always good practice. Okay, what is the question asking? What is the question asking? Yeah. Louder. Reese, can you hear?
No.
Louder.
What the author is inferring.
What the author is doing what?
Is inferring.
What the author is inferring or implying?
Oh, implying.
Right? We make inferences. Remember, we take things from a text and make an inference. But the author, in order for us to do that, the author would be implying something. Sit up straight, Dominic. Dominic, what are the key words in the question? So we're at this box. What are the key words in the question that you have to focus on to answer it?
Lines 1 through 6.
That's in the passage. What are the key? Oh,
The question.
yes, the question. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Lines 1 through 6 in the question, those are key words. Yes, very good. What else?
Suggest.
Wonderful. Joshua, do you have something to add? You've read your mind. Anyone have something to add besides what Joshua and Dominic said? Capri?
During and home.
Why did you add those?
Because those specific words and lines will be fit that you're looking for.
And if they're going to cue you to specific words, that kind of gives you a sense of when you should start reading and when you should stop reading. It's also a good practice to consider the lines around the lines that are suggested, which is what Anthony did and Raphael did. So that's great. The last box, what are the thinking skills you need to employ? What are the thinking skills you need to employ, Talia? And that connects to Tiana's point. Going to our inference equation, what you know about the world, what you read in the text, inference. Okay, and Talia, going back to you because you just told us this. Talia, can you explain what inference you made and how it led you to your answer choice?
For the inference, it was like when they were talking about how what was important, like the overall meaning of the story just helped me infer because like he was just writing about this and writing it in a positive connotation. And then from like what I was thinking, like no one would write something like this unless they felt a certain way about it. So with the connotation, he thinks that and this is a sensitive subject as well, which is the thing I know about the world part of it. What's the thing I know about the world? So when I answer, I got to E. I got to E. I don't think I got it.
Did you eliminate any answers?
Well, I'll eliminate A, because that's not exactly the whole point of the story. Like, they added the last part at the end. It was saying, oh, you made an organization for this and this and this. So that doesn't necessarily, it narrows it down more than just like the opinions of a male.
Elimination.
It's not E.
And
but the way you're thinking about it is getting you in the right, is moving you towards the right direction. You did eliminate one of the wrong answers, so we know it is an A, we now know it is an E. Brianna,
I got D.
D is the correct answer. Can you explain how you thought your thinking process getting to D?
Well, back in the days, women had to do certain jobs that, yeah, so kind of like, since, it wasn't easy because, you really had to just focus on line 2-6 and not the whole passage, so I guess that's how I got it. And since it said she worked at home, so it was like she succeeded, okay, so she succeeded as a book magazine illustrator by creating art and conducting business with publishers Arthur from home. So it's like she was successful and she stood at home instead of being outside. Like they thought women who were working outside of their homes were usually had no respect for themselves, which is a social respectability.
This is one of those times where the analogy, like zooming in on one tree in the forest, seeing the whole forest, but then zooming back in on that one tree was valuable. And the reason that pre-stated where during and home in the parentheses being put there to really focus your reading on like whatever was in the ellipses, like it's focusing your reading so much on those specific lines that it's even telling you to start reading it during, to stop reading at home after having read the whole passage. So it is one of those times where while you do need to consider a lot of different pieces of evidence, at the end of it you really need to go back to the evidence cited and consider that above all else. So that is a good point. Okay, so D is the correct answer. Who got D? 2. Okay, so this is the type of question we'll come back to. This is about identifying trends, like I said yesterday. I'm going to make a note that this is the type of question we need to come back to again. Again, it is one of the hardest questions on the test. So don't feel too bad. We will work on it together again. Next page, AP questions. Let's get a 12th grader. Walk us through the first 2 boxes. What part of the text does this question connect to? What is the question asking? William.
Oh, no. I just want to tell you the answer.
Walk us through the whole chart, William, and then give us the answer.
What parts of the text does the question connect to? Obviously it says line 5, so we go to line 5 and we read where it says, I told my artist friends who recorded it, not, and I guess you could say not to suffer, but, yeah.
I'll pause you right there. Does anyone have anything to add to William's first part?
Yeah,
Keith,
but it connects to sadness.
connects to the title of the poem?
Yeah, because it's about sadness.
Up or not to fall in love.
You put, yes?
Not to fall in love. Cause that was the line right under it.
So also line 6 and 7,
I put,
James?
For line 1 to
1 through 9.
I put line 5.
You have to speak louder so I don't have to repeat you.
Line 5.
Okay, so, but everybody's adding a little bit more with, and we did this kind of question yesterday, but it was an SAT question. Remember what we said? What did we say about if it's a word in context, what do we have to do when we look at the line? We use context clues, but how many lines do we have to look at if it's a word in context?
top and the bottom.
Over it.
We have to definitely look at like the whole sentence of the word, and we have to maybe even look at the sentence before and after, because to get the context of a word, we need its sentence, and we might need the preceding sentence and the sentence after it. Tattoo that to your brain, right? We're gonna keep coming back to these words in context questions because they appear a lot on the Regents, the AP test. They appear on every standardized test for the rest of your life. You'll always see these, so it's just a good one to keep coming back to. Okay, what is the question asking, William?
What is the best use of the word quoted in line 5?
What are the key words in this question?
Best expresses the meaning. Yeah, that's what I think. The best expresses the meaning of, that's what I feel like was most important.
Anyone want to add something? 12th grader.
I said line 5.
Line 5.
The actual way to transport it.
Yep.
Good job.
What, and back to William, what are the things thinking, ELA, other skills that you need to employ?
I feel like just prior knowledge or like background knowledge that you have of yourself and like inferencing.
Great, and then Sharif said it before, what's that other skill that is related to vocabulary? Sharif? Yep, there we have them. Okay,
What did you say?
What's the answer?
what did you say, Sharif?
Context clue.
All right, and the answer, William?
I think it's E.
It is E.
Oh,
Who got
gets the
E?
bucks.
And actually, this is another one where most of the definitions could work for courted, except for toying with. That's not usually a definition for courted. In like the Old English or Victorian era, often courted was used to describe like dating or having a relationship with. And here, like the queen, not the queen, the prince and the princess were courting one another. So people would say stuff like that. Anyway, so that's courted. That's how I think of courted. All right, so great job on these.